Hey guys, TechFine. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the BlitzWolf BW-KB1 keyboard. It's a 60% wireless mechanical keyboard for just $50 or £38. So on paper that sounds great, but in this video we're going to find out if it's any good or not. If you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. But obviously you've got to watch it first. So guys, let's get into this. In the box you obviously get the keyboard itself, a braided USB Type-C cable, a keycap remover and the instruction booklets as you would expect. The included USB-C charging cable, or if you're using it as a wired keyboard, is of fairly good quality. Obviously it's a wireless keyboard so it's detachable and you could use any USB Type-C cable anyway. The cable attaches on the left hand side, which while can help your setup look cleaner and better in some people's cases, personally I actually would have preferred it in the middle or on the right. So let me know in the comments, where do you prefer the cable? Do you think they were right to put it on the left, or should they have just put it in the middle and kept it neutral? The build quality of this keyboard is quite good. It is made of plastic, but it is quite sturdy and does feel fairly strong. It has very little flex in it and almost no deck flex whatsoever. The only thing is, I guess the outer shell can feel like it could come loose of the main deck if I do pull on it quite hard and quite specifically. In real world though, that is something you'd never experience. You can either use the keyboard flat with the permanently positioned rubber feet, or you can use the kick-out stands. Either way, it's not going to slide about much. The rubber was very good and it stopped the keyboard from sliding. My only issue was flat. It was a bit too flat for me and it wasn't quite comfortable. And then with the feet out, it was fairly steep, and a bit steeper than I'd personally like. Personally, I would have liked about half the feet height. So either do something similar to the Sonosa V2 where you have the double feet, and you can choose the height. I know a lot of keyboards do that. Or personally, I would have just liked the feet a little bit shorter so it was a little bit less steep. But that is personal preference, and unfortunately you just have to have a go with the keyboard to know which you'd prefer. The keycaps have a nice feel to them and are of good quality as well, which is nice because obviously, you know, with these keyboards a big thing is you can easily get entire new keycap sets and customize it the way you want, but at the same time it's a budget keyboard so you can save money and use the default ones and have a really good experience. Speaking of the key switches, they're mechanical and at this price point that's very good. My model has Gateron Blues, but it is also available in red and browns. Gateron switches were a great choice and you definitely feel a bit more premium than some of the really budget mechanical keyboards. Since Gateron are a popular mechanical key switch brand, you know you're getting good quality switches, and overall I was very satisfied with the experience. My blue switches had a very nice actuation, they were nice and clicky, and I'm going to give you a little sound test. First of all, I'm just going to give you a quick little type so you can get an idea of the volume compared to me speaking as how loud they are. For those of you interested, here's a proper sound test. If you want to skip it, you can skip to here or just use the little timestamps on the timeline. As someone coming from a full-size keyboard, 60% does take some getting used to. For gaming it's absolutely fine, and that's why most people will be buying this keyboard. Just bear in mind though, if you want to do things like productivity, pressing function N to do delete is personally something that annoyed me. Obviously you press function and you can do all the different things as you'd expect to make up for all the keys you're missing. You can press function tab to switch between Bluetooth and wired mode, which I personally like that you can have it plugged into one device and use Bluetooth on a different device. So that makes a bit more sense. I can have it plugged into my PC, use it in wired mode, and then just press function tab and then function Q, which selects Bluetooth device 1, and switch to using my laptop without having to unplug it from my PC or change a switch on the bottom or anything like that. It can be connected to up to 5 Bluetooth devices at once by doing, like I said, function Q, W, E, or R or T, depending which device you'd like to connect to, which should be more than enough for a lot of people. Bluetooth also means you can connect to devices like your phone or tablet, as well as your laptop, and easily streamline your experience between them, and it should work fine. That is an advantage over having a dongle. However, dual mode allowing you to connect this with a dongle would be good for somebody like me who only has a cheap Bluetooth adapter in my computer, and that does lead to some connectivity issues. It does use Bluetooth 5.0 though, which means any connectivity issues are probably not because of the keyboard. I found the connection with devices such as my laptop and phone to be very strong, and I had absolutely no issues with the connection. On battery, it claims to last 18 to 20 hours if you have the RGB lights on, or up to 10 days with them off. That does seem pretty ridiculous, but to be honest, I kind of believe it. The battery life does seem to be very good, however I can't verify it exactly. Pairing is fairly simple. Just make sure you're in Bluetooth mode, so function tab if you're not, then hold function and then Q, W, E, R or T for slots 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 respectively until it starts flashing. Once it's flashing, it will show up as a visible Bluetooth device and you can connect it. There's nothing more complicated like that, so pairing was very easy. The lighting on this keyboard is pretty good, especially considering the price point. All 63 keys are RGB and individually backlit. You can change the lighting by pressing function and then the button above the enter key, as well as the brightness with some of the other buttons and speed of different effects. You can cycle through loads of different effects, different colours and ripple, however you can't customise that much since I can't find any software. This is a bit weird though, as on some of the product pages there is clearly some BlitzWolf software for customising this keyboard, however online I can't find it anywhere. So if you guys can find this software, let me know because I'd really love to give it a go and see if it's any good or not. Overall the lighting is pretty good. I was impressed by how vibrant they were, and for $50 the inbuilt functions are more than good enough, at least for most people. To conclude it all, I'm very impressed with this keyboard. I think BlitzWolf has done a great job. When I reviewed the Royal Clutch RK61, which you can check out here, my only issues were the switches were Royal Clutch's own switch, which could have been a bit better, and there was no RGB lighting. Obviously this cost a bit more at about $10 more, but I think you get all of that solved. You get great RGB lighting and Gateron switches which are of very good quality. In addition to that, Bluetooth 5.0 and just having a wireless keyboard that's mechanical and RGB at this price point is outstanding. I think it's a great value for money keyboard. I don't like giving a product a perfect review and I don't think I have here. The two things I'd say is, first of all, the lack of software, at least my ability to find any software, is definitely an issue. I wish I could customise it more, because there are some colours for some setups that you can't get just by cycling through the different modes. The other thing is, for me personally, it is a bit uncomfy because, like I said, the angle with the feet out is a bit too steep and without them is a bit flat, which means it is a bit uncomfortable for me to type on for long periods of time. But if you have this keyboard, let me know how that is for you in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like and even consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to look as cool as me, and I know you do, you can get yourself some merch at techify.co.uk/merch. For your next video, check out our review of the Royal Clutch RK61. It's another 60% mechanical keyboard that's a little bit cheaper if you want to save even more money. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.